Alright, guys. So we just watched Impact Hard to Kill. Austin is fucking furious. He's about 10 times more angry than he was at Goldberg, so I'll let Austin take the floor.
You're gonna wait.
I'm gonna wait. Oh my god, this show sucked. And the best part is Austin agreed to make the thumbnail. So I don't have to.
I'm gonna take my anger out on that.
It's gonna be the most shittiest thumbnail ever made.
Oh no, I'm gonna make it look good. I'm gonna make all the people in it look bad.
You gotta put Tennille Dashwood's ass in it again. That was an important part.
I'm going to their Twitter.
This is gonna be, get ready everybody, this is gonna be a long seething angry rant. This is not even gonna be a review. This is gonna be a rant for the ages.
I'm trying to see Rome. Okay, that's not it. It's Decay. Oh wait, that is the start of the match. That's his first match. So we didn't watch the pre-show, because why would we watch another hour of this godforsaken pay-per-view?
Yeah, so the pay-per-view is actually 3 hours instead of 4 hours, come to find out.
3 hours too long.
Yeah. It did feel long.
Madison Rayne announced her retirement. Hey, she's still retired. 18, you know, I'm gonna be 18 soon.
He says September 7th. Them DMs are open.
As long as you're not Kimberly or Nia Jax, come on. Let's see. Oh, Decay versus Tennille Dashwood and Caleb with a K. It was actually a good match.
It was,
In
to
fact,
be fair.
It was the only good match.
I think the X Division title match was a good match.
I guess you can count that as a decent match. So
Yeah,
it was
a good
one of
triple threat.
2 good matches out of freaking 9. So,
man.
Decay are back together, Crazy Steve and Rosemary. I don't care. Tennille Dashwood was great. She's always great, as Dima would say.
Perfect ass, man.
Caleb with a K
Juicy
actually
and
knows
succulent.
wrestling moves, so that's an up.
Yes, sir.
Decay won.
Yep. I think didn't both Tennille and Caleb get misted
Yes.
by Rosemary, I think? Or was it Crazy Steve? Yeah, Rosemary. I don't know what kind
Crazy
of gear
Steve.
Rosemary was wearing, but it looked weird.
I don't know. Crazy Steve just looks like a hobo. He always has. But then everything was ruined because guess who comes into the impact zone? Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. That's where it all fell apart. This is where it all fell apart.
Oh my god.
They come in and they like shove down this guy's papers. And then we have Eric Young, Cody Deaner, and Joe During taking on Tommy Dreamer, Rhino, and Cousin Jake in a garbage match.
This match was pretty bad. Freaking Tommy Dreamer and Rhino are so freaking past their prime.
Dude, they're 1,000 years past their prime.
As Austin put it, ECW washed up has-beens.
Exactly. Eric Young wins the pile driver.
That wasn't the only pile driver we seen tonight.
No, we've seen so many of those. Trying to see what's... Oh! Then we get Havoc and Nevaeh versus Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan.
Oh, sorry.
Havoc might be as bad as Nia Jax.
Sorry, I started choking for a second. Oh, shit.
Well, this show would make you choke. It's so bad. So I don't blame you.
Shit.
See, it's making you choke again. It's me mentioning Havoc.
Because you said Nia Jax.
Freaking Havoc is one of the worst promos, not only promos, wrestlers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh.
We were watching this match, and Havoc was like so slow and like just like, oh, it was just bad. Like it looked like she didn't know half of what she was doing, kind of like Nia Jax, but she was like,
Gary the Snail could wrestle better than her.
Oh my god.
Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan are the new Knockouts Tag Team Champions. Like it matters.
You know what I noticed?
Does it really matter? Are they really? It's not going to be like they're doing anything good, because they don't do anything good on the freaking Women's Tag Team Champions at the freaking goddamn WWE, so it's not like they're going to do anything with these Tag Team Champions.
Impact doesn't have a Knockouts Tag Team division.
Exactly.
So I don't know what they're going to do.
It's going to be worse than WWE, because they don't even have a Knockouts division. At least when WWE did it, they had a tag division. They had. So,
Jesus
Ace
Christ.
Austin comes out to the ring with Madman Fulton, who is Sawyer Fulton.
Sawyer.
Sawyer Fulton.
God.
Remember him from 2K18 because nobody played as him?
Yep.
Freaking... So, Ace Austin's talking all this crap about he had to go through like 4 guys, win this trophy, blah, blah, blah. And he's actually pretty good on the mic, I could admit. Then Matt Cardona shows up.
Matt Cardona makes his Impact debut.
Why would you want to work for that company?
Because, Austin, Brian Myers is there, and that's his best friend. And
I don't give a crap.
They're going to be tag
if it's
team
his
partners. If it's his mother.
I don't give a crap if all of my family work at Impact. I will never work at Impact. You try to give me a job at Impact, I will go bankrupt. I would rather be poor.
Austin would rather be homeless than work at Impact.
I would rather be homeless.
So I definitely see. Obviously, I can see them doing a thing of like Matt Cardona and Brian Myers versus Sawyer Fulton and Ace Austin or something like that, or some. I know.
Well, from
100%
what
they're
I've
gonna
seen,
do Brian Myers
from
and
what
Matt
I've
Cardona
seen
on
from
a
the
team.
2 times that we've watched Impact this week, Brian Myers is a heel. So that means, are they going to turn Matt Cardona a heel? I don't care, and I'm not going to watch, so it's not going to matter.
I just know at some point they're gonna put them together.
God, dude. Next was the freaking triple threat, and like Demo said, it was decent.
It was Manic, aka TJP, defending the X Division Championship against Rohit Raju and Chris Bay.
I love Chris Bay. They didn't have him take the pin in this match, which is good.
Yep.
Chris Bay, go somewhere else for your own good.
Manic
Please.
retained the title by a roll-up pin on Rohit
Oh, by the
Raju.
way, you gotta remember, Manic's mask came off.
Yep, and TJP had Manic face paint on, and the commentators they were kind of like arguing with each other about it. They were saying like They're like, you can't tell me that that's not TJP. And then they started calling him TJP. And then the other commentator, by the way, the commentators were Matt Stryker and D'Lo Brown. What a weird
At least
pairing.
we didn't have to freaking listen to Josh Matthews. That's one great thing about this goddamn show.
But like they were like,
I'll
no,
listen to Madison Rain any day.
they're like, no, that's Manic. And they're like going back and forth about it. I'm like you're just ruining it even more. But yeah, so Manic had like a TJP type attire on, but with the Manic mask. But then it came off, and he had Manic face paint, which looked bad. It was bad. The whole Manic
It
thing
looked like
was
he was
bad.
doing a bad Joker cosplay.
Yeah. The whole thing was just, the whole Manic in general was just bad. It should have been Suicide instead of Manic in that match.
No, but isn't Suicide and Manic not the same person?
Well, they were tag teaming, so obviously not.
Yeah, so they couldn't do Suicide. Because why would that make sense?
I don't know.
And then Victorosa, Deonna Purrazzo versus
It's Virtuosa.
freaking
He said Victorosa.
whatever. I don't even care.
Versus Nice Titties Taya.
Yeah, this match was slow, clunky, boring. Didn't pay attention. I know Deonna Purrazzo won.
Yep. And Taya Valkyrie really didn't deserve this match because on Impact she lost clean to Kimberly. So
Kimberly, of all people.
the only thing that was nice in this match, and you can call me sexist, whatever, the only thing that was nice in this match was Taya Valkyrie's breasts. I don't care what anybody else says. I didn't give a shit about this match. I was watching this match for the most part. It was slow, it was kind of boring, but the only thing I was paying attention to was Taya Valkyrie's breasts because it's her best asset. And, you know, I guess Deonna Purrazzo is a decent champion, but I don't really care. That's the thing. And this match, I just I had no interest in nothing. And with Taya Valkyrie, I know she was the longest reigning Knockouts champion or something like that, and was beating all these other women. But Impact, their women's division isn't the best. They kind of have they have women, but they don't have women that people care about.
Okay.
But yeah,
Now
Deonna Purrazzo
it's time for me to take the floor because this is when the show went from bad to one of the worst shows of 2021. And now it's not even February yet, and this is one of the worst shows of 2021. It will be in the top 10 forever.
Oh god.
Oh. Ethan Page. Let's talk about Ethan Page for a minute. He was great, man. I remember I saw him all in. I'm like, oh, he has potential. He has some good potential. Then he went to Impact. Didn't see him for a while. I watched a couple episodes of Impact leading up to which wasn't great, to be honest. But the one thing that I saw that was great, Josh Alexander and Ethan Page, the North, great. Then, fast forward to a month, a couple months after, and I start seeing on Twitter, the Karate Man.
We saw the Karate Man tonight, and that was where Austin lost all respect for Impact.
Okay. No, I lost all respect. I've already lost all respect for Impact. Okay? Let's get that straight. I lost all respect for Ethan Page.
Oh my
Ethan Page is dead to me. He's done. He's done.
He's like, Ethan Page is dead to me.
Okay, so
Jesus.
Ethan Page started acting weird, and then he debuted his goddamn Karate Man gimmick, which apparently is a multiple personality thing. I don't care. I don't watch Impact. I only watch 1 week before I watch this.
Oh my god.
First of all, it was a cinematic match. One red flag out of the many that came before it. Ethan Page versus himself, the Karate Man.
Oh god.
It was bad green screen.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, it was
It was,
bad green screen.
yeah, they green screened it.
They
It's
weren't even
terrible.
hitting each other.
Nope.
They couldn't even make it look like they were hitting each other. Freaking. And then suddenly, the Karate Man rips out Ethan Page's heart. I hope
Yeah.
that's the last time we see Ethan Page. Because I don't want to see Ethan Page no more.
Yeah,
If I ever see Ethan Page on the indies or anything, I'm fast forwarding.
they literally like had the Karate
You know
Man
how
rip his
Jim
heart
Cornette
out.
has the freaking tooth and nail rule with Breaker and stuff? I have the freaking Ethan Page rule. Every time I see Ethan Page, I'm not watching.
They literally had the Karate Man rip Ethan Page's heart out, and it was a fake plastic heart. You could tell it was like one of those like Halloween body parts that you can buy, and it had like fake blood coming from it. It was so bad. Oh, it was
Are
so...
you okay, Ethan? What was your problem? Did you forget to take your meds this morning?
Oh my god.
Ethan, why?
This was Austin's most
How?
look forward to match.
No, it wasn't. How could this be worse? This might be worse than Goldberg coming out of the freaking Raw reunion. This might be worse than his match that's coming up.
Oh my god. The rage.
Ethan. I'm just. What? Are you stupid?
Oh my god. This is
I was
bad.
so hooked on you. You were one of the best freaking parts of Impact. You were the only thing I was looking forward to on Bound for Glory, and you won the tag champs and then immediately lost them.
Oh my god.
You have let me down. In fact, I'm blocking you on Twitter.
Oh my god. Are you really?
Yep.
Is Ethan Page now on your shit list?
Oh yeah, he is.
Is Ethan Page and the Karate Man, or are they putting them on there as the same
They're the
person?
same goddamn person.
Well, maybe next week we'll see Mannequin Suicide versus Ethan Page and the Karate Man.
I'm not watching Impact ever again. You think I'm watching Impact again? After this spit in the face that I just watched?
Oh,
All ego, Ethan Page. All ego. You might as well be all elite, because that's how bad you are.
Jesus Christ.
Block. Yeah, you will no longer be able to follow or message. He will no longer be able to follow or message you.
Message.
You will not see notifications from all official ego. Block.
Oh my god.
I'm sending you a screenshot. Just so you see.
Oh my god.
I haven't even, like... I haven't seen something so awful. My god. Kurt Angle's in-game will probably be better than that.
Oh my god.
Here's the picture of me blocking him. It's sent.
Oh my god. Well, that wasn't even the end of the show.
No, I wish it was.
Because up next we had freaking Sami Callihan
Barbed
versus
Wire
Eddie
Massacre.
in the Barbed
Sami
Wire
Callihan and god dang Eddie Edwards. You know what? I've lost respect for Eddie Edwards too.
Oh, but they said on Impact, they said you might not like Sami Callihan, but you have to respect him, Austin.
I'd be depressed if I respected freaking Sami Callihan.
Oh my god. You have to respect his indie garbage, Austin.
I will never respect Sami Callihan. In fact, I'm blocking him too.
Are you blocking Eddie Edwards too?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's just gonna block the whole Impact roster.
No, I like Rosemary. I'll keep Rosemary and Neil Dashwood and stuff.
Oh my god.
Let's see. Freaking Sami Callihan. The draw. The draw. You have the gall to call yourself the draw.
Give it to him, Austin.
The only draw you're doing is on DJ Curtis's freaking DVD, freaking video game cases.
Oh my god. But Austin, he had such a memorable rivalry with Tessa Blanchard.
Shut up. Just shut up.
Oh my god.
The Sami Callihan. Blocked. Send me that too.
Austin's gonna send me like 20 screenshots of all these Impact people that he's blocking. So he's gonna block Tommy Dreamer, Rhino, man, TJP.
No, I mean TJP kinda, you know, he's good. So, this match made no goddamn sense.
It was what you would expect from a barbed wire death match. It was indie garbage. They used weapons that had barbed wire wrapped around them.
It wasn't really, because you had freaking one side of the ring.
Oh yeah.
There was only one part. One side of the ring. There was only one part of the ring. Had steel cage with barbed wire on it. Not the whole square. One freaking part.
Square. It was for aesthetic purposes, Austin. Eddie Edwards dove headfirst into it.
Freaking God.
Oh, and Sami Callihan pile drivered Eddie Edwards through a barbed wire plywood.
Don't remind me.
Oh, and don't forget the barbed wire chair that Sami Callihan got back suplexed on.
I hope he felt pain.
And don't forget them both getting caught in all the barbed wire that was on the ropes.
They all deserved that. They signed up for that match. They deserved it. Bringing that into the freaking professional wrestling business. You know what? This isn't even professional wrestling no more. This is garbage. Impact is no longer a professional wrestling company. It is no longer.
Jesus Christ.
Anybody that's an Impact is not considered a professional wrestler. I don't give a crap about Rosemary and Neil Dashwood. You're not professional wrestlers no more. There you go. You were good.
Oh my god.
Same goes for half the AEW roster.
But Austin, you have to remember, it's like the Young Bucks said, AEW is the Cirque du Soleil of wrestling. It's supposed to be silly and comical. So is Impact. They had a murder mystery storyline, Austin. And the Karate Man. Do some fucking Mortal Kombat Shao Kahn shit.
Don't even compare it to Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is better than the Karate Goddamn Man.
But in the barbed wire massacre, Eddie Edwards beat Sami Callihan. Do
we even care?
I mean, we gotta say the result of it.
Whatever.
Eddie Edwards won, and then after that, we had the main event with Kenny Omega, Austin's favorite.
Don't even say he's my favorite, because he's goddamn not.
The seething hatred and the vile rage. Right now, Austin's like an overflowing volcano. He looks like he looks like from the episode of SpongeBob where Squidward was one of the superheroes. He was the magma dude. I was just like Krakatoa.
Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers versus Rich Swann, Moose, and goddamn freaking Chris Sabin.
We'll say Impact is the vinegar put into Austin's baking soda to make him explode.
It's the freaking Mentos in my Coke.
Oh, it's the lighter to his gas. Awesome.
We thought the main event to the Impact show that we watched this week was bad. This was 10 times worse.
It was way longer because they had to.
They had to give it that freaking Kenny Omega hour-long match. There you go, Tony. You got your another freaking hour-long match.
And they had to make it go the rest of the time of the show. So it was the main event was. It was supposed to be Rich Swann and the Motor City Machine Guns versus the Bullet Club, but something.
I went through 2 waters. I'm legit just drinking water to hide the pain.
But Alex Shelley wasn't there because of a COVID-related issue, so it ended up being the Impact World Champion, Rich Swann, Chris Sabin, and the TNA World Champion, Moose, versus Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. Oh my god. This match was long. It was boring. It was dragged out.
It was a Kenny Omega match. It was a Kenny Omega match.
You had all the twinkle toes spots. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it because it was so boring, but I remember getting to the end and all I seen was V-trigger, 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 V-trigger.
If I see another V-trigger, I'm gonna throw up trigger.
Austin said, I'll come down to Jacksonville myself. Oh, he said, I'm gonna go face to face with Tony Khan and tell him he sucks.
You know what? Don Callis was saying a lot of stuff in this match.
Oh, yeah.
Said, Don Callis, you're blocked.
Do you already have Kenny Omega blocked?
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna block the Good Brothers?
They keep up what they're doing. I'm not even followed. I don't even follow Don Callis. You're getting blocked anyway.
Very good.
There's another screenshot to add to the list.
So Kenny Omega.
Oh, you're cutting out.
Here.
Still cutting out. Yeah, cutting out.
All right, I had an audio issue, but we're back.
Mm-hmm.
So Kenny Omega was wearing a Pumpkin Bullet Club shirt, and the Good Brothers came out and with Bullet Club logos on them. I'm sure Tama Tonga is gonna be mad about that one. Tama Tonga,
Cease and desist.
Tonga Loa, and Bad Luck Fale are gonna be mad about that one. They already are. They called them a fake ass Bullet Club. They called them traitors. Everything. So what was Don Callis saying in this match? Because I wasn't paying attention to him.
He was on commentary praising Twinkle Toes.
Oh, I had my volume off, so I didn't hear any of the commentary.
Mm-hmm. He was just praising Twinkle Toes, and then before even Twinkle Toes came out, he sat there and was talking about all his accolades. I don't give a crap about getting the exact accolades.
Oh yeah.
You know what I cared about at that point? At that point, I cared about the show ending.
Yeah, when Kenny Omega came out, Don Callis was on stage. He was giving him like how Paul Heyman does the introduction for Brock Lesnar. He was doing that for Kenny Omega.
Tech, freaking Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is better to listen to than Don Callis and Kenny Omega.
I mean, Kenny Omega is the best wrestler in the world, though, Austin.
No, he freaking isn't.
According to Don Callis. And AEW and Impact, they worship Kenny Omega. Why do you think he was in their main event of their pay-per-view?
Dude, when he thinks about the Kenny Omega, he freaking sucks golf balls through a straw.
What? Austin has officially blown a gasket.
I've already Have you seen me for the past hour and a half?
Oh my god. Yes, this main event was long, it was boring, and it was just typical six-man tag stuff. Kenny Omega hitting V-trigger, 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 V-trigger.
And that's an accurate representation of how many times he freaking hit the V-trigger.
He did the little horse show gallop. In the twinkle toes.
You know, he should sponsor Twinkle Toes. We could probably get a sponsorship.
Oh my god.
You can make it pink and put Omega on it.
Oh my god.
And the excuse for making it pink would be breast cancer awareness, but it definitely wouldn't be breast cancer awareness because it's Kenny Omega.
It's all Susan G. coming.
I hope they freaking like do a Susan G. Komen thing in AEW this year, because if they do and have Kenny Omega wearing pink, it'd be an accurate representation of him in his daily life.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ, Austin. Oh my god. Bad pay-per-view. This is the review you've all been waiting for. Austin has...
Are you happy, Hunter? Are you happy? Because I know you're watching.
Oh, but Austin...
Because you saying that I would like the Karate Man match and the Kenny Omega match, guess what? You're getting buried. Even harder.
Oh, but Austin, it's not over yet, because we got another pay-per-view to watch now.
No, we don't. We are not watching that garbage pay-per-view.
Impact Rebellion, baby. It's in April. I'm guessing this or something.
It better be an April Fool's joke, because I'm not watching it. You're cutting out.
You were cutting out.
You are.
You are.
You are.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I'm cutting out, not me.
Well, let me freaking change the goddamn thing then. Let me leave the party and join it back.
You know.
I'm fine now?
I think
You're cutting out.
God damn it. Alright.
Oh, and now you just... Oh, okay. You good? You good?
Yes.
I hate this freaking pay-per-view. We are not watching Rebellion.
It said
It better
Rebellion.
be an April Fool's... It's an April Fool's joke, because I'm not watching it.
I think it said it's on April 16th.
I don't give a crap. It's a late April Fool's joke, because we're not watching it.
Oh, man. Really, though, the best part about all this is Austin still has to make the thumbnail for this review.
Oh.
So Austin's got to download Kenny Omega, Ethan Page, Sami Callihan. Oh, he's got to download Havoc. He's got to download Barbed Wire. He's got to download the Karate Man. Oh, God.
I hated this pay-per-view. I hated it. I hope you people enjoy my pain. I hope. I freaking hope.
All in all, it was the best pay-per-view of the year so far.
You better shut up.
I mean, it's the first.
It's one of the worst.
So by definition, it's the best pay-per-view because there haven't been any other pay-per-views yet.
The Royal Rumble hasn't showed up yet. That's still gonna be better than this garbage.
Oh my god. Oh
We have to
god.
review the Royal Rumble too.
Royal Rumble is gonna be 4 hours, maybe
I'm
longer.
so mad. I'm freaking shaking, dude.
Oh my god.
I'm so goddamn mad.
So we will be back for Impact April 16th.
No, we will not.
Rebellion. They took that name from WWE, by the way, because WWE had Rebellion as a pay-per-view before.
I don't care.
He said, I don't fucking care.
You know, I'm looking at in-game because I got it today. Kurt Angle, it looks better than this pay-per-view. I'm excited for this movie.
Kurt Angle Endgame, baby. I still have to buy it.
Hurry up and buy it, because I would rather watch that than watch that than this garbage.
We could watch it anytime, because I can just watch Endgame on YouTube. Imagine that after Impact watching Kurt Angle Endgame.
No.
Oh man. We're gonna be going through some real shit, Austin. We're gonna be watching Kurt Angle Endgame. We're gonna be watching Godzilla King of the Monsters. We're gonna be watching
It will
Impact
still
Rebellion.
all be... I'm not watching Impact Rebellion. I will watch anything else. Anything.
We're gonna watch Cuties. I'm just playing. We're not watching
No,
that.
not anything. Not anything.
Oh my god, dude.
Not anything.
Jesus. So I think Austin rates this show 5 stars.
I rate it -5 stars.
He said 5 stars.
Cutting out again.
Fuck. Big Pop Austin, can you
Barely.
add your gamer chair? Austin? You
Barely.
now is it now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Poppy Austin.
Don't call me that.
Okay, Austin. I'm just gonna start calling you.
Did you just say you're gonna call me the Karate Man?
Mm-hmm. Would you rather, Austin? Would you rather be what was worse in your opinion, the Karate Man or Karate Curtis?
In the stream, I'm not answering that.
You tell me you don't got nothing else to say about Impact when you were chomping at the bits to start this review.
It's the worst cutting promotion. It's worse than AEW.
And you still gotta make the thumbnail. Oh yeah, Austin's gotta download.
I want to break something.
Kenny Omega, Sammy Callahan, Ethan Page,
I want
the
to break
Karate
something.
Man, Havoc, and Don Callis. Not to mention Kenny Omega.
I want to break something so bad.
Don't forget to put the TNA World Champion and the Impact World Champion in the thumbnail.
Why does that happen? How does that happen?
You tell me, Austin. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out at Rebellion.
I will never watch Rebellion. I'll watch WWF Rebellion.
Oh my god, dude. So do you honestly think that this was worse than Goldberg coming back?
Yes!
So that was such hatred. Oh.
How
But
can
come on,
anything be
Austin.
worse than this? How can anything be worse?
But
There
come
is
on,
no
Austin.
topping this. There is no topping this.
But come on, Austin. You have to be like the people on Twitter and Instagram. The Karate Man and Ethan Page is entertaining, and the Barbed Wire Massacre was a great match with great hardcore spots because that's what wrestling fans want, hardcore. And the main event was great because Kenny Omega is the best wrestler in the world, and you can't tell anybody otherwise.
Well, those people enjoy watching Wrong Turn 2 as a pastime.
Austin said they jack off to Wrong Turn.
Yeah, they do.
Austin said if I could get behind the Wrong Turn people, I would.
No, I did. No, I did not.
Jesus Christ. Austin said I would have rather seen Ethan Page versus Three Finger than the Karate Man on some Wrong Turn 3 shit. Oh my god. So I like how Kenny Omega dyed his hair back to what it was in New Japan, since now he's on this thing of
Why would you notice that? Why is that anything to notice?
because Tony made me sit through so many New Japan Kenny Omega matches that hairstyle is stuck in my head. As soon as I saw it, I was
I
like,
feel bad. I feel
because
bad. Do you need money?
you don't have money.
I don't.
You still got to buy
Do you
the
need a
forest.
hug? Do you need a virtual hug?
You're the one that sounds like you need a hug, not me. Austin sounded like he needed to be sucked off. Not by me, though. He said, Madison Rain, my DMs. Do you have Josh Matthews blocked?
Oh, man, you almost got me. Thank you. I needed that.
I don't even know what his Twitter is. Is it just Josh Matthews?
Whatever it is, I'm finding it.
Oh my god. I will say the little
Let's
bit
see what he posts.
the little bit I heard of Matt Stryker kind of made me feel like I was watching WWE 2010 when he was on commentary, but that was one of the only good things. Matt Stryker's a good commentator.
Real Josh Matthews.
He was a commentator in Lucha Underground as well. He was pretty good there.
Yeah. Let's see what he his Twitter is garbage. Blocked.
Oh my god.
The only good thing about his Twitter is he has freaking Madison Rain in his picture.
I don't know how he got Madison Rain, to be honest.
I don't know either. The freaking incel.
Oh yeah, you forgot to mention when Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan won the Knockouts tag titles. Madison Rain and Gail Kim presented them the Knockouts tag titles.
Oh, that was a good part. We actually got to see somebody I cared about. Two people I cared about. It's like Gail Kim.
We know what Austin was thinking during that segment. I mean, what Austin was thinking during that segment is what I was thinking during the Tennille Dashwood match. What I was thinking in the Tennille Dashwood match is what Austin was thinking in the Havoc match.
Nah.
Who do you think is worse, Havoc or Kimberly?
Kimberly.
Really?
Sadly, yeah.
Jesus.
The only person that could top Kimberly is freaking Nia Jax.
Imagine them as a trio.
Ew, don't.
Coming into Ring of Honor.
Nah.
Jesus Christ.
They're freaking blacklisted from Ring of Honor. If that was the only job that I can give them, they would be homeless.
Oh my god.
Same goes for Josh Matthews, Kenny Omega, God dang, the Karate Man.
Jesus Christ.
I hated this. This is pure hatred. Why did we watch this?
It was your idea.
Why do we torture ourselves?
I wanted to review Impact, and Austin said, "Hey, Hard to Kill's coming up. Why don't we watch that?"
No, you said, is there any more pay-per-views coming up? And I'm like, Hard to Kill, but that's about it. Besides Royal Rumble. And like, okay, Hard to Kill. I didn't think it would be this goddamn bad.
Austin said Hard to Kill because he was already planning on watching it.
Last time I've ever watched Impact. If any of you marks on Twitter make me watch freaking Impact again, you're blocked. Or even consider it. Or even like ask, hey, watch Impact. Watch Impact. Blocked.
20 minutes, buddy.
No, not for 20 minutes. Forever.
Oh my god.
You know, the block thing is an amazing freaking invention.
You should make a video on your channel called Austin the Artist Shit List. Like how Jim Cornette made his shit list.
When it's fully made, yeah, I will. It's not fully made, I guess, now. I got some people to put on that.
Oh my god. I say the best match of the show was... It was funny enough, the show was the match that got added last minute of Tennille Dashwood and Caleb versus Rosemary and Crazy Steve.
Yeah, that was the match of the show.
And then the triple threat was good. And I guess Taya and Deanna was decent, but everything else was...
It was more than that.
I said this show is worse than what I dropped in the toilet after I ate Cracker Barrel. Down at fucking Kroger. Jesus Christ.
How long have you been gone?
I don't know. Probably about 40 to 50 minutes, I think. What would you rate this pay-per-view, say, out of 10? What would you rate it?
Is 0 an option?
I suppose.
0.
I'll give it a 1.
F minus.
Minus 5 stars.
No, it somehow gets a Z.
A Z?
Yeah, 'cause that's the last letter in the alphabet. That's what it freaking gets.
Oh my god. The funniest thing was like...
What's the funniest thing? What's the funniest thing? I wanna freaking know.
The funniest thing was like how they put the best match first, and then like everything that Austin hated was right after each other. I find that funny how they did that. It literally went Karate Man, Sami Callihan, Kenny Omega, right after the other.
They suckered me in with the Tennille Dashwood and Caleb and freaking Decay match. They suckered me in.
Oh,
why? They have no soul.
And another funny watching it, like seeing Austin like explode.
Cutting out.
God damn it! Must be Austin's internet.
Well, you cut out again.
It must be Austin's internet that's fucking.
Well, we're gonna see. I'll test my connection.
But during the Karate Man, Austin exploded, and then after that was the barbed wire massacre with Sami Callihan, which made Austin even more mad. And then after that was the main event with Kenny Omega, which sent Austin careening off the edge in a nosedive. And the whole time during that, I'm just thinking, as soon as we get to the Kenny Omega thing, I'm just thinking, Austin's got to make the thumbnail too. That's the best part in my head. I'm like, the best part of all of this being next to each other is that afterwards, Austin has to rant about the show, but he also has to make the thumbnail too because he agreed to it. Oh my god.
Because I didn't think it would be this bad. Who would ever think it would be this bad?
I mean, it's Impact. You shouldn't have expected a good show.
Yeah, but even the weekly show, which not saying it was good, but like at least it didn't have the Karate Man versus Ethan Page.
Hey, maybe Impact will give us a part 2 of that. That was so bad. Like, it was the worst green screen. I've seen YouTubers who have made better green screen stuff. As it was bad. You can literally see the edges of the green screen on a couple shots. That's how bad it was. And it was so low budget.
Why did they think that'd be something that they could put on air?
On pay-per-view too.
People had to pay for that.
I'm curious to see how, like, what their viewership was for the show. Like, how many people actually
I want to know
bought it.
too. I want to know how many poor people had to freaking put their money into this show.
So do you have anything to say for the Kenny Omega fans and the Sami Callihan fans and the Karate Man fans and the Impact fans, Austin? Do you have anything to say
Die
to
in the
them?
fire.
Jesus Christ, he's a die in a fire. Oh my god. You know those same people, ones that are gonna call you a mark.
I'm a mark. Oh, I'm a mark.
They're gonna call you a WWE mark or something.
A WWE mark.
That's what they do to
Oh,
everybody.
look at my freaking Goldberg review then. If you want to see me be a WWE mark.
All people do to deflect arguments is they'll call somebody a WWE mark or an AEW mark.
If
or a
anything,
smart.
I'm a Ring of Honor mark.
Ouch.
In fact, everybody that's watching, or actually no, not Impact because they're too far gone. Anybody that's watching freaking WWE, AEW, or no, AEW, they're too far gone as well.
Jesus Christ.
WWE and whatever other promotion, go to freaking Ring of Honor. They'll give you quality.
I will say, I think that AEW is better than
Than Impact?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Somehow. That's the only praise AEW is going to get from me.
Well, what
What about what?
about MJF in AEW? And he doesn't.
MJF
AEW
is
get
great
praise for that?
in everywhere. MJF was in CZW and he somehow made CZW great.
Jesus Christ.
MJF is great everywhere.
It seemed like they booked this card specifically for Austin. They knew how.
Did they just see our Impact review and was like, you know what? Let's make this guy want to cry inside.
Perhaps that's what they did. They said, "That's Austin the artist. Yeah, we need to show him."
All you showed me is that you're freaking garbage. Never watching you again. Blacklisted. You know what? I'll block Impact Wrestling.
He's block Access TV too.
Yeah, Access TV brought this garbage. We're blocking them too.
Are you gonna block Fight TV because they're posting the pay-per-view on their site?
No, they have Ring of Honor, so
Oh
I'll
my
still use them.
Jesus Christ.
Impact Wrestling. Block. Now let's go to Access TV.
Jesus Christ.
Block.
Just block. Oh my god. Oh. Does Access TV have a Twitter?
Mm-hmm. And it's blocked.
Jesus Christ. So at the end of the day, Austin show.
Austin what?
Loved the show.
If you mean love, it better be opposite day, because I hated it.
He said it's opposite day.
You know what? It is opposite day. I loved Impact. You know what? I loved it so much that I hope it burns down to the ground.
Someone's gonna clip that part. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my
I hate
god.
it so much.
Holy Lord. Oh god. What a shit show. What an absolute shit show. I don't know how Impact is still running. I don't understand where or how. Well, I understand now because I'm guessing Tony Khan and AEW are giving them money, or they're getting money somehow.
Why are they
from
giving
the
him
deal.
money? Why?
Because it's like Jim Cornette
Why?
says, Tony Khan is a billionaire's son that's spending his money like a drunk sailor. That's the way Jim Cornette put it. So Impact is making money somehow from this AEW deal, but outside of that, I don't see how Impact stays afloat. I just don't. They get no viewership. The viewership that they get for their shows is what WWE gets on like 205 Live or a pre-show. I don't understand how Impact is a thing still in 2021 in the new decade. I just don't. I don't get it. Well, not to say they have nobody, but
They've
most of
almost
their.
been going for 20 years.
I mean, sometimes this is the result of a company going for too long. Sometimes things end up like this when they go on too long and things don't work out, and then they keep it going even though they know it's not good, or they know that they can't have the money for it, or
I don't think they
know.
do. I feel like they're drinking their own Kool-Aid.
What kind of analogy is that?
I feel like Impact doesn't know they're bad and thinks they're the greatest promotion ever.
I mean, they have 2 world champions, Austin. They have a TNA champion and an Impact champion. You can't beat that.
TNA isn't even a thing anymore.
Not according to Moose. Alright, now
I'm glad Zachary Wentz and freaking Desmond Xavier got out of there when they could.
Alright, now we're on part 2. So this is definitely going to be over an hour now.
Did they hear the freaking Zachary Wentz and Desmond Xavier comment?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got out when they could. I'm so happy for them. They got out when they could.
Oh, but Austin, they have to have some sort of money because they just signed Matt Cardona So they have to have some sort of money to be able to do that.
Matt Cardona would take freaking wrestling figures. They probably gave him the new freaking micro brawlers that came out.
That's what they. That's how they pay him and Brian Myers.
They just pay him with freaking elites.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, you want this elite AJ Styles? He used to be in our company, but he's not no more because we suck. So here you go, have that.
Yeah, and Impact had to try to hold on to that because they had freaking Hornswoggle play AJ Styles. Fucking.
I'm glad he's gone.
Swoggle's gone from Impact.
I haven't seen him.
Oh, if only he would have been on Hard to Kill. That would have been the cherry on top of the sundae. But the cherry on top of the sundae for this pay-per-view is that Austin has to do the thumbnail. That makes me smile. You better start working on it, Austin.
I'll work on it when I want to.
Download that Kenny Omega PNG. Oh man, I'm so glad you agreed to do that. Oh,
Just gotta keep mentioning it, do you?
Because it's just so funny to me that you agreed to do it, and then the show turned out to be one of the worst wrestling shows I've ever seen, and a show that made you freaking the most angry I've ever heard you, and it makes me smile that it worked out so perfectly that I don't have to do the thumbnail. And you do. Oh.
I'm gonna take my gingerly time making it.
Austin says that, but he'll have it to me in 5 minutes. It's just gonna be...
I'm gonna take my time. Oh, I'm taking my time. I'm taking it.
Oh my god. Well, look at it this way, Austin. We got Raw on Monday that we could watch. We got Alexa Bliss versus Asuka that's booked for some reason.
Do you want me to have a heart attack? You think I'm reviewing Raw 3 weeks in a row?
I mean, hey, I don't know. I mean, I work Monday, so I can't watch Raw this week.
Guess what, though? You're not working Wednesday.
I'm not watching AEW and Impact.
Okay, that's where you're wrong.
I'll tell you what. I'll watch AEW.
All right.
I don't want to watch Wait, what did I say? Impact? I meant to say NXT. I don't want to watch NXT.
Okay, AEW.
Since was it last week or whatever it was? Well, we mainly focused on NXT, so we could mainly focus on AEW. And then hear Austin rant about that.
Okay. You're doing the thumbnail on that video. I'm not doing it.
Okay, watch it be the best AEW show ever.
If I see MJF doing freaking ballroom dancing again, I swear to God.
I'm gonna somehow get Austin to do the thumbnail again.
No, you're not.
I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna tell my phone.
All right, fine.
broke.
PayPal me $100. I'll do the thumbnail.
Not for a thumbnail. I'll PayPal you $100 if you record, edit, and do the thumbnail.
Haha, nah.
Oh my god. It's just not the same without that Austin the Artist touch. If there's anything that Impact needs, it's Austin's touch.
Yeah, I'd fire half the roster if I got control of Impact. Said bye-bye freaking goddamn Kenny Omega, even though he's not on the freaking roster. Bye-bye the Good Brothers, because they got ruined. Bye-bye Ethan Page, definitely.
That's how you know that Impact is like holding on to this AEW deal with all they have when they have somebody, a world champion that's not even signed to their company, when they have him in the main event of their pay-per-view over their, well, I mean, their world champion was in there, but over the rest of their championships, that's how you know they are trying to milk this AEW deal for all the views and money that they can.
I'm just flabbergasted on how bad this show was.
I hope you didn't go into it thinking it was going to be a great show.
No, I ain't going to it thinking it's a great show. It's Impact.
Austin got his hopes up. You knew the Karate Man and Kenny Omega and Sami Callihan was all coming.
I know. I know it did. I know. I didn't know it was coming in a row.
He's in a row. Oh my god, dude.
They freaking gave me the Karate Man and Ethan Page. Then they gave me freaking the garbage match. Then they gave me the goddamn main event. That was one of the worst main events I've ever seen.
I'll tell you,
I don't
man,
even care. At me, Tony. I don't even care if you like Kenny Omega. At me.
Man, I'll tell you, like, I don't know what it is about the Good Brothers. I just feel like the Good Brothers have gotten worse in the ring, just from what I was watching. I don't
They probably
remember
don't
them.
care because they're in Impact.
Well, that's true, but I was gonna say I don't remember them like being that bad when they were in WWE. But like watching them in Impact is just like they've seemed like they either don't care or they've just gotten worse, or they don't care to put on a great match.
Man, if I was drinking all the time and getting paid, I still wouldn't get paid because I wouldn't be working at Impact. I'd be fired on the spot. Of course, Impact doesn't do that. They keep you if you're drunk.
They can't afford to fire people, Austin.
No, they can't. That's why they hire 10,000 people and don't fire them. And they have these god-awful people like Cousin Jake. Who the freak is Cousin Jake?
He's gonna be the next big Impact star, Austin.
God, I feel bad for Impact. Actually, no, I don't feel bad for Impact. I take that back. They deserve all the crap they freaking get.
And that's why we'll be back for Impact next week.
No, we will not.
I'm curious what they're gonna do after this show, though.
I don't care. I
Like,
blocked them.
are you gonna block AEW at some point?
If it gets me to this point, yeah.
I'm waiting until the day you block Chris Jericho.
I'm waiting for him to reply to my tweets because I just keep like sending them memes and crap. They're memes going against him. It's not good memes.
Oh my god.
One of these days I'm just gonna like tweet a garbage can and tweet I am Jericho.
Do you think that there's any way that Impact could be good again?
I could tell you, if there's any way, there is a way. There is a way. I could tell you. It's called fire half their roster. Actually, 75% of it.
So you want Impact to go under?
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying. Fire half their roster, get all the money back, and then, hire better people. And don't do the cinematic crap. They could benefit from, like Jim Cornette was saying with AEW, they can benefit from people like the Briscoes, freaking MJF, like people like that, or even people in WWE if they could even like get to a point where they could buy out WWE contracts, like Ricochet, like AJ Styles, freaking
I
Sam
don't.
Shaw. Don't call him Dexter Loomis no more. Sam Shaw.
I don't think Impact will ever get to a level to buy anything
Well, no,
from
I'm honestly
WWE.
fantasy booking right here because they will never get to that point again. They think their crap's good. They're like drinking their own Kool-Aid.
They have Moose and Rich Swann as world champions.
How do they still have Moose?
They
Like, how do
have
they still have Moose? Is one of their best freaking guys.
you know. I mean, they got Moose. They have I mean, TJP is pretty good. I could see TJP like doing good somewhere. He did good in WWE for what he did there.
Yeah, he
Um,
was first ever cruiserweight champion.
hmm Before they took a fat dump on the cruiserweights, but
Yeah, I know. It was doing so good. Freaking Brian Kendrick and TJP, even
mhm,
Neville. Yeah, Neville was
yep.
good.
They
And then
have.
Enzo came.
Mhm. Imagine if Enzo came to Impact.
Don't say that.
You know you joke and say no promotion wants to hire Enzo and stuff, but
Impact would.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Impact probably would be the ones to hire Enzo. God, just imagine Enzo and his consensual penis on Impact.
Oh God.
I mean, if Impact wants to put the final nail in the grave, that's what they could do, or final nail in the
You
casket,
know,
rather.
maybe that's how Josh Matthews got Madison Rayne. Maybe Enzo Amore gave him some tips on how he somehow got Liv Morgan.
Yeah, I don't know how Enzo was able to do that. He obviously didn't keep her very long, but
No, and then talk bad about her and crap.
did pretty much a diss on her.
Yeah. Wasn't he the one that cheated on her too?
I think I don't know. From his song, he said she cheated on him, but who knows?
I
I
mean,
mean,
if I was Liv Morgan, I wouldn't blame her.
I do remember Liv Morgan saying something about that Enzo was a piece of crap and piece of shit and this and that. And he
Well,
treated her
yeah.
badly.
You should look at the freaking like shoot interview that Simon Gotch did.
Oh,
He
I
went
seen
in
that.
on Enzo.
He said
Yeah.
Enzo didn't know how to wrestle. He didn't know how to sell. He didn't know how to do anything. He said he was terrible. And I mean, while watching, and we're getting off topic from Impact, but like watching Enzo, you could just tell he does not belong in a wrestling ring.
He got a concussion by hitting ropes.
Oh yeah, I remember when that happened. I remember when that happened. Whatever happened to Big
God.
Cass?
Came back for a while. Apparently was rough in the ring when that Daniel Bryan feud, and then got released. And
I
then he
meant,
joined back with Enzo, and
yeah.
they crashed an ROH event, which
Oh
I was
yeah, I
watching
remember
that
that.
ROH event. I was watching that ROH event, and I saw that, and it made me sad.
Yeah, isn't his indie name Big Kaz or something like that?
Yeah,
And
because
Enzo and Big
he thinks
Kaz.
being cool, is basically just replacing the S's with Z's.
Well, I wonder what Big
Because
Kaz is doing now, because Enzo's doing his
he
whole
had a
rap thing.
seizure.
Yeah, I know that.
I mean, that's the last time I heard anything from him.
Me too. Because like Enzo's doing his whole rap thing, if you can call that rap.
Oh God.
I don't know what Kaz is up to though. Maybe they'll come to Impact and we can see Brian Myers and Matt Cardona versus the Motor City Machine Guns versus Mannequin Suicide versus Enzo and Big
Okay, let's stop.
Kaz.
Let's stop. We need to end this. We need to end this. We're going too deep. We're going too deep.
Hey, we're giving Impact ideas, Austin.
Not good ones. Not good
Oh
ones.
my god. You know what Impact needs? They need the Panda Express.
Nah.
Maybe that's what they'll do in the AEW crossover.
I'm done. I'm done. We gotta end this. We gotta end this.
Yep,
We gotta. We got to.
better get started on that thumbnail, Austin.
I got. Just start. Just end it. Just end it.
thank you for watching this Impact Wrestling review. Impact and then AEW Wednesday. I'm just kidding. We're not fucking watching Impact ever again. Fuck that. But we will be watching All Elite Wrestling, and we'll talk about NXT as well. But we won't be watching NXT.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you next time.